Hey guys, this is Myk. Yesterday I've conducted a webinar on how to create ideal customer profile, and I have outlined 9 different angles how you can understand your ideal customer profile and how do you build one. Today I want to very quickly recap 9 steps and 9 different angles that you can analyze your ideal customer profile. First, identify the target organization, because VP of marketing in a small organization have different roles than VP of marketing in a large organization. And they, those VP of markets have the same psychographics, they may have the same attitudes and belief, but organization and size of organization matters. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, understand customer profiles. So make sure you understand what are the titles you're targeting, what is the function, what is the tech stack that they use inside of the organization, and what their role in the buying process. So step number 3, understand daily, day in life of your customer, meaning what are the responsibilities, what are the goals and objectives they're trying to reach, what are the challenges they face, what are success metrics that they measure their goals, and what do they report on. Number 4, understand external forces. So if there is something that happens in the environment or in the industry, that regardless of what they do, they need to be aware. Something that's fundamentally shifts how they need to operate. Maybe it's new technology, maybe it's economic challenge, maybe it's a social changes that actually drive and actually impact what they do on a daily basis. Step number 5, understand how they buy, meaning understand how your ideal customers buy, who is involved in the buying process, who would be your product champion, who would be an influencer or approval, what is your implementation plan, what is the first value you want to deliver, and when, and how you're going to deliver that for your customers. So before you create your sales process, understand the buying process so that your salesperson can mirror the best typical way of how your customers buy. When I'm on a call with customers, I typically ask them questions. So how do you bought your previous product, or you said that you're using this and that product? Who was like? How do you buy that product? What's the process around that? Step number 6, understand problems, pains, and values. So in my previous video, I have discussed that there's 4 different levels of pains and problems that I typically analyze around. First, awareness, that they're aware of the problem exists. Urgency, that they actively looking for a solution. Then what is the frequency of problem, meaning how frequent the problem occurs, and then what is the severity of the problem, how painful it is. Is it just okay, or is it like extremely painful? And step number 7, understand your customer from empathetic standpoint. There's a great writings, and there is a great model and framework called Empathy Map that actually talks about how to understand what customers say, think, feel, and do. And I suggest when you interview your customers and you do customer discovery calls, you want to structure your questions actually asking, how do you feel about this process? How do you feel about this pain, about this challenge? What do you think that happens in your industry? So make sure that you calibrate your questions based on that. Step number 8, understand what your customers read, attend, and who do they follow in the industry. This is a very important step, especially when you're going to be building your content strategy, and it's also important to get those channels of information about what your customer content they consume, so then you can understand your customers better. And step number 9, it's basically who do you want your customers to become. As you understand your customers and as you understand what do they have to deal with, what type of pains they have, what type of goals, who do you want them to become, meaning like what is the promised land, what are the things that they want to feel about, what is the ideal way for them to go about their job. So, and not here, you're not necessarily going after their specific solution that you want. That's not their job to provide solution, but maybe you want to understand how they want to feel, what is the ideal world they would like to live in. So, and there's a great book by Myk about who do you want your customers to become, and I highly recommend it. So make this table between what do your customers feel right now and before they're using the product, and what do you want them to feel after they use the product, and what that place you wanted to take them using your product. So that's 9 steps of understanding your ideal and creating your ideal customer profile. And then I would like to remind you a couple of principles that are extremely important, and you might know some of them. Principle number 1, you cannot please everyone. And that's why we have so many different products on the marketplace. That's why we have many multiple cars, because every product designed for a specific pain they want to solve, and every product is designed for a specific person, meaning specific customer preference. So you can't please everyone. The same way we can't have just one model of cars that's ideal for everyone, we're not going to have any product that's just good for everyone. Even those wide popular product like CRMs, like let's say Salesforce, it still qualifies the customers based on the price level who can afford this product. Principle number 2, companies that are closest to the customers will win. And one of the best examples that I'm using in this principle is that, remember, Toys R Us went out of business. They filed for bankruptcy last year, and in 2018 they closed all the stores. And one of the monumental decisions they made in 2000 is they signed an agreement and partnership with Amazon so that they could fulfill all their products through the Amazon, meaning that they put Amazon between themselves and the customers. So Amazon was able to learn about customer preferences. Amazon was able to understand what products work and what the customers want, and they could actually be able to replace Toys R Us. So there was a big decision on the side of Toys R Us to actually outsource this to Amazon, because they lost their power to get feedback from the customers quickly, and they lost because they were not aware that this whole customer transition towards online selling was happening. So principle number 3, sell the pain, not a solution, meaning that if you don't want to sell if you sell the product, you seem pushy, but you want to understand the pain of the customers, and then you sell the pain. If they're not aware of the pain, maybe you want to highlight why this pain is important. Maybe you even put some number about how this pain actually results in monetary loss for the organization, for themselves. And principle number 4, the bigger the pain that you are solving for the customers, the easier it is to sell your solution. And again, I think it's pretty obvious, but I think we can all sort of think about instances where we could jump on the call just because we have this pain, and we would just start searching for a solution. We were just going out and actually reaching out to some colleagues or to somebody else to give us pointers how we can solve this problem. And for me, this problem was when I was first organizing an event for a Trinity last year. And this was a huge pain. I never organized an event myself. There's a lot of things to keep in mind, like video, how to get attendees, venue, food, all of that has to be decided. And I was so frustrated. I was in such a pain that I was looking for anybody or for anything that would help me to solve this problem. And this is why when your ideal customer profile, your ideal customers would be those that actually experience and aware of this pain, experience this pain heavily, so that it will be easier to sell them your solution, and because their sales cycle will be lower because you don't have to educate them on the pain. Thank you. I hope this was helpful. Please share this video and like it. And if you want to get a template for how to create your ideal customer profile, and you want to be notified when I release my new big article on this, please share this or put a comment below, and I will share that with you when it's ready. Thank you very much. Have a great day.